Hey everyone, thanks for being tuned in to KPOV 88.9 FM, your high desert community radio in beautiful Bend, Oregon. I hope you're having a good day. This is Stacie Dread, Galactic Ambassador in the Cosmic Community Astrology program here on Tuesdays, 4:30 to 5 p.m. So thank you for making time and space in your day to hear about the planetary and the lunar influences that we have ahead of us this week and how we may be able to work with these energies, live within these cycles to create a more benevolent life for all. So it is another retrograde week. We are deep in the midst of our Mercury retrograde, which could explain why things could feel a little slowed down, like you've had to take a couple of steps back recently to evaluate something in your life. This is happening between 26 degrees of Taurus and 5 degrees of Gemini. So look in your birth chart and see where the Mercury retrograde is affecting you personally. The Gemini energy is well upon us. It is Gemini season. Happy birthday to all of the May born Gemini folk out there. And it makes it feel a little more of a social atmosphere when we are in Gemini season. Gemini very much represents communication and is ruled by the planet of Mercury, which I just mentioned is in a retrograde right now, which means that we are just kind of looking backwards. You know, we're not really working with any new themes at the moment, but we are working with the retrograde cycle, which means we take a couple steps back. We slow down, we turn and look this way, gather some more information about this area that we are working through. And so Gemini season always brings on a little more of a social atmosphere. So as the weather gets warmer in the northern hemisphere, this is a beautiful time to get out and to see people and to make plans and to communicate about things to people. Taurus season is very beautiful and is very much about the creature comforts, but can sometimes make us a little more of like a homebound feeling to us. And then Gemini season just really lights a fire underneath us. It's an air sign, so we, as I use air to talk, Gemini folk are big talkers. They're definitely good with words, good with communications. This is a really great time to harness this true Gemini superhero ability to talk to people and to make your talk very charismatic and to draw people in, make people curious, and to continue to work through your own curiosities about things. So if you feel like, reaching out, having conversations, writing letters, communicating, it's a really, really good time to do that. And so use that Gemini energy, right? We want to work within these cycles. That's why we study astrology, is to really be exposed to the larger cycles and themes that are taking place and to work within those. So it's a really great time a really great time to write a song about the moon, as Paul Simon sang to us there in the opening. That's perfect Gemini energy. Start a journal, if you've wanted to use your hands, also a very Gemini thing. So sculpting or working with mediums, working with your hands, jewelry making or anything like that. Definitely a really great time to dive into those things. And so I'm checking out the chart here on astroseek.com, and I'm looking at the chart for today, and I see also a little bit of energy in the Mars, Neptune, Jupiter section. This is Neptune at 25 degrees of Pisces. We got Mars at the very, very last moments of Pisces, also going to be shifting into Aries here just this evening. And Jupiter just entered Aries not long ago, and Mars will be catching up to Jupiter and making a conjunction to Jupiter in Aries coming up later in the week. That's on Saturday. But today, Mars is moving into the sign of Aries. And this is a very strong, potent energy. This is the ruling sign of Mars is Aries. Aries is a fire sign. Mars is the warrior. This is the warrior. This is when we step up, and really have a physical vibe to us. This is the athlete. This is the biathlete. The really strong athlete in us. Really could be coming out. So sports, a really great time to be involved in sports over the next month, or to experience or to experiment with your body in regards to pushing yourself physically. Mars will be in Aries for 2.5 months, I think, is about the time Mars spends in each sign when it's not retrograding. And so we'll be feeling this really strong body energy, this fiery warrior energy for a while. And so that could be very exciting. It also could be a little over the top, so definitely some sort of like shadow sides of that to be aware of, is that Mars in Aries can tend to be a little over the top even, and can tend to have Mars can be a little over the top, can be a little maybe even overly aggressive in Aries, could be a little bit of an egomaniac. It's the king coming home to his castle for sure. And what does the king do when he gets home to his castle? He starts ordering people around, starts putting things in the places where he wants them, and really moving and going and doing and giving. So continue to be aware of that, and just take it easy with your physical body. Try not to go over the top, be too maniacal with this, and just something to be aware of, right? Stacie Dread, Galactic Ambassador in the cosmic community. Oh my goodness, we are so deep in this Mercury retrograde. Are you guys feeling that? It's been so interesting. Just really paying attention to these cycles and watching and being aware of what's going on with myself, what's going on around me. I just today, as I came into the station to give this report, there's just a huge amount of traffic on the way here, which is, kind of we're building into summer, like here in Bend. We got our tourist community, but just this, I was just feeling that with just a lot of stopped and slow traffic around me. Yet people, feeling this Mars and Aries energy and wanting to go, go, go. We are still being slowed down. Just conversations that I've been having, just kind of still feeling a bit foggy. We're like right in the midst of this Mercury retrograde. So a lot of kind of brain fog, a lot of people going, I'm sorry, that kind of came out, like I just kind of, it was like a brain dump, and just a few different people saying, and I'm seeing that within myself, that just conversations, are taking a little bit longer to get around to what you're trying to say, and so very interesting, be intentional. It's a good time to slow down and think, what am I trying to say? And be intentional about saying that. 4 across all my clocks here. Such a great thing to be reminded by the universe that you're in the right place at the right time. And that's what all those fours mean for me. Moving on to the astrology here in the week, we're looking at May 28th. That is a Saturday. And this day has another potent set of energy to it. So, building into the weekend, we've got the the moon in Aries for the next couple of days, and then the moon goes into Taurus over the weekend, and then Venus moves into Taurus also while the moon is there. So we get a shift into this fiery energy this week with Mars and Jupiter really moving into Aries, and then we get another shift of this Earth energy with Venus moving into her home sign. So it's a big old homecoming party this week for Mars coming into his home sign of Aries and Venus moving into her home sign of Taurus. And she comes into her castle and she says, I'm going to take a nice bubble bath in my favorite bathtub with my candles lit. And then I'm going to put on my favorite snuggly pajamas and snuggle with my snuggly little puppy and watch my favorite program and eat my favorite ice cream, because that is what Venus in Taurus represents. All of the creature comforts, those things that you just, oh my gosh, it just gives you so much beautiful feelings to do these things. This is like the serotonin blast. It's like it's coming in strong when Venus moves into Taurus on Saturday, May 28th in the morning time. So we will wake up feeling this snuggly, fuzzy, comfortable, sensuous energy. And this is the day I was mentioning that Mars is going to make that conjunction with Jupiter. So we kind of get like a head-on collision between like the homecoming king's party and the homecoming queen's party. I think that those parties would look a little bit different, since Mars is like the male archetype. So you think of the classic kind of man party, man cave, right? What that kind of looks like, a man party. And then Venus, she is having her lady party over here, and that looks totally different. The classic kind of she shed, lady party. And of course, this is not about genders here. This is about a balance. We all are a balance, the yin and the yang. We have male energy and female energy, masculine and feminine, whatever you want to call it, energy in all of us. And so just knowing how this sort of plays out in you, what is that sort of fighter energy in you, and the protector warrior, and what is that sort of more protective, motherly, sensual, emotional energy, we can tap into both of those things. And so on Saturday, I see sort of like us feeling like kind of pulled in both of those different directions. And so we can truly find a balance here between the yin and the yang, although I feel like the male energy is a little bit strong. We've got Mercury retrograde in Taurus. We've got Uranus in Taurus. We've got the moon in Taurus on Saturday and the North Node. So I don't know. You get to know these expressions and then decide, what energy you would like to use on that day for yourself. And we are indeed coming. I can't believe we are at the end of May. I'm talking about the new moon on May 30th already. I can't believe it. But the time has come for us to have our new moon in Gemini on Monday, May 30th. This is going to be taking place on the West Coast very early in the morning, 4:30 a.m. That's going to be at 9 degrees of Gemini. This is such a beautiful new moon that we come to as we really start to see the growth outside, the seeds that we've planted back in Aries and Taurus season. We're really starting to see these things grow. And so we get to the new moon in Gemini and we say, okay, we take some stock. This is happening while Mercury is deep, deep, deep in retrograde. Just to give you a little heads up, Mercury will be stationing direct at 26 degrees of Taurus on June 3rd. And so at this point in time during the new moon, let me get up my chart. Yes, Mercury is still has gone back into Taurus, so we're still kind of moving through. We're looking at some of our growth still and making some of these new moon intentions around this growth that we've seen over the last couple of months. And this is a very internal time. And as I mentioned, Gemini energy does seem very social and it does seem very outward, but the new moons are very internal. They're very reflective. This is all about rediscovering something inside of ourselves. This is about having an interview, some kind of dialogue, a conversation within ourselves. This is about coming back and having a rediscovery about some information that we have discovered within ourselves. This comes very internal to me, where the Gemini energy generally is a bit more outward. That I think this new moon is going to be very healing for us during this Mercury retrograde. We can just access some of these internal messages coming from the God within, the God without. The Earth energy is just coming through so strong with this strong Taurus energy that we're going to be receiving some really nice messages coming in to this new moon in Gemini. So it's such a beautiful, interesting flow to the week, starting off, with Mars coming in so strong into Aries. Like the energy just feels so strong today, and like I can really get out and like do some things and get some traction, really move some things forward and take action within these these Aries parts of our lives. Look in your chart, see where these first degrees of Aries lie for you, and you can see what themes are going to be sort of most potent for you to gain some traction on as the homecoming king comes home to his castle and starts ordering around his servants and getting things back in order so that the king can arrive in style, right, in comfort. And then of course we move into Saturday with Venus moving into Taurus. I mentioned how this we're just going to wake up Saturday morning energy. Very strong. The Queen has arrived back home to her comforts and her castle, and she is really getting herself comfortable. She is taking some real time nurturing herself, as Venus is the nurturer of all of this. The moon is going to be in Taurus also, so we're going to very much be we're going to be hitting a max point, being able to nurture ourselves, really find some true love on Saturday for the process of bringing these creature comforts into our life. And then we move into this new moon in Gemini, 9 degrees of Gemini. You can see where that is in your chart. We're going to have the sun and the moon in a conjunction there. And this is going to be just a really great time to set some new intentions around the learning process, around learning about ourselves, because we are going to be having some internal reflection time. We're going to be having some internal dialogue around this new moon in Gemini, and really asking ourselves some true questions and getting some answers that mean something to us. That are going to help build the story. It's going to help to build our life story. There's so much happening that is so faded right now. Just one more thing. Saturn is going to be stationing retrograde here, moving into just the first week of June. I already mentioned that on June 3rd, Mercury will be stationing direct at 26 degrees of Taurus, but we're going to also see that following day, Saturn station retrograde at 25 degrees of Aquarius. And then we're going to be working back a few degrees as Saturn takes some steps back, slows down to sort of restructure some things, and we'll talk about that next week. I will also be back here in the Cosmic Community next week with my June monthly breakdown, so you can expect to hear a lot more about that next week. And I just very much appreciate you making time in your day, and if you're listening on the archive on our kpov.org /the Cosmic Community page, you can access all of my archives and re-listen to this show all week if you'd like. So thanks again. This has been Stacie Dread here in the Cosmic Community. I hope you have a good week. Talk to you next week at 4:30. Peace.